सोच में सकारात्मकता लाएं, जीवन को बेहतर बनाएं। मनोदर्पण पर कॉल लगाएं, मनोबल अपना और बढ़ाएं। मनोदर्पण पर कॉल लगाएं, मनोबल अपना और बढ़ाएं। चलो आज ही प्रण ले हम, मानसिक स्वास्थ्य सुधारे हम। चलो आज ही प्रण ले हम, मानसिक स्वास्थ्य सुधारे हम। मनोदर्पण के काउंसलर से परामर्श पाने के लिए डायल करें टोल फ्री नंबर 844-844-0632। नंबर एक बार फिर सुने 844-844-0632।
Good evening, Namaskar viewers. I, Kruti Vatera, would like to welcome all the teachers, learners, educators and students to CIT NCERT's special live phone program. And this is Sahyog session. Sahyog, where we discuss about the mental well-being of the youngsters and adolescents of the nation. And this is the initiative under MANODARPAN. Paricharcha and Sahyog are the initiatives that under MANODARPAN by Ministry of Education under Atmanirbhar Bharat, where we try to provide psychosocial support to the adolescents. And today we will be discussing a very relevant and important topic about enhancing critical thinking skills among adolescents. This will be discussed next 30 minutes for you, and we are joined by two guests. Practicing counsellor Mr. Prabhakar Behra is joining us. We welcome you, Mr. Behra, for today's discussion.
Namaskar. Sabhi ko namaskar.
And we are joined by Dr. Anamika Lenka from RI Bhubaneswar as well. We welcome you as well, Dr. Lenka, for today's Sahyog session.
Namaskar.
And viewers, before we begin with this important topic today, certain information for you all. If you have any kind of questions, queries or suggestions, then please feel free and do let us know. You can simply dial on a toll-free number to tell us. Number would be 8800440559. You're watching the live streaming of this particular program on NCERT's official YouTube channel, and there also in the live chat box you may send all your suggestions and questions to us. One more medium to contact us would be the email address flashing on your screens right away. And here I feel proud to announce that India assumed G20 presidency and is convening G20 Leaders Summit for the first time in the nation. A country deeply committed to democracy and multilateralism. India's G20 presidency is going to be a watershed moment in its history, as it's going to mark some very important role in finding pragmatic global solutions, and by doing so we are truly manifesting the true spirit of Vasudhaiv Kutumbakam, or the world is one family. So on this note, let us begin with today's Sahyog session, and in discussion I would like to bring you, Dr. Lenka, first. So we are discussing about critical thinking among adolescents. I would like you to throw some light on this itself, that what is basically critical thinking and why does New Education Policy 2020 so much talks about this skill particularly in terms of learning. If you could please brief on this.
Actually, in a normal language, what is critical thinking? When we have a question why it's happened, why is it, so there is something type of critical is. We are thinking more about that. Critical thinking is a cognitive process that involves analysis, evaluating and systemizing information and ideas for reasoned judgment and make information decision. When we have a problem, a condition, why we can take the decision. It is a disciplined and objective approach of examining ideas, argument and evidence. It is a higher order thinking skill that goes beyond simply accepting information at face value. Whatever the information we have, whatever we want to do, why we want to do, what is that? The main types of critical thinking are analytical thinking, creative thinking and idea generation, decision making, problem solving, reflection and assessing evidence, open-mindedness, good communication. Critical thinking gives us the point to think why it is as it is. So we have to think what is the base of that existence, what is happened for us. It is just to think about, not take what is as is. So for the national education policy framework is a revamp the education system of the country. It places significant importance on critical thinking as fundamental skill of learning for several reasons. Few reasons we can discuss over here: preparing students for the future and nurturing independent thoughts, as well as enhancing problem solving skill, fostering analytic skill, cultivate responsible citizenship, promoting lifelong learning, aligning with international education standard. Overall, incorporative critical thinking into education system aligning with the goal of producing well-rounded, intellectually curious and adaptable individual capable for contributing meaningful to society and workforce.
Okay, so this is what critical thinking viewers, and I'm sure that the youngsters might have understood what critical thinking means. And here I would like to bring you into the discussion, Mr. Behra, and I would like to ask you that what kind of activities or interdisciplinary approaches we can actually maybe adapt or develop to enhance critical thinking skills. If you can
Well,
please brief
before
on this.
yes, well, we before we enhance critical thinking, let the students start thinking first. Because what happens in present day, most of the work students submit to the teachers are either copied from their classmates or from online resources. Most students also hesitate to think and organize their work. To modify these behaviors and strengthen their thinking, we as a teacher can conduct many activities in classroom transaction. For example, we can just go on narrating, then they do not understand, or some slow achievers do not imagine what the teacher is telling. If we use some visual aids or a mind map, suppose, to discuss some topic instead of narrating in a stereotype manner, he or she will start thinking about that image. Visualization gives students a chance to compare and contrast things, and it directly enhances critical thinking. Another way, another activity is that is mostly popular among teachers, that is reading comprehension. It is one of the standard approaches which can be used not only in literature but also in other disciplines. We can use a variety of sources for these purposes, like we can take a literary text, or we can show some images, graphical presentations, statistical data that can be interpreted, that can be compared and contrasted to improve their critical thinking skills. Besides that, teachers can conduct debates, group discussions in teaching, particularly in social science and literature themes. Along with that, we have also many problem solving activities, multidisciplinary projects that enable students for teamwork and collaboration. If you go through NCERT textbooks also, it is designed as per NAP principles. You can see variety of activities that encourages thinking, especially critical thinking. The book do not direct provide you answers. It needs interpretation of both students and teachers to draw to a conclusion. With that also, we can give review work, suppose a book review, a movie review that you have recently watched, or you have gone to a restaurant for a dinner or lunch, then explain about that. In this way, they will review what happened in their daily life, and they will force their mind to think upon. Besides that, we can also assign many type of assignments that needs thinking, not just referring some sources, online sources, or copying from other textual materials. It will just have his own opinion. In this way, we can conduct so many activities to strengthen critical thinking among students.
Okay, so these are the approaches and various activities with which you can actually attain critical thinking viewers. And here I want to discuss about the role of teachers also in terms of enhancing critical thinking. So, what would your say maybe on this, Dr. Lenka?
Ma'am, as well, we all know teacher is the backbone of the education.
Right.
If we encourage the questioning, student will come the question. If we don't allow student to come their question, they will stop over there. If we just promote them to ask more and more question, encourage their questioning and try to justify their questioning as well as give them a right way to get more knowledge about that, then we can encourage their questioning. Otherwise they think teacher will not allow us to ask a question they are not ready to face for us. So in that condition teacher is responsible for improving critical learning. As well as we can promote open discussion. In open discussion every student will come with their own thoughts, will come with their own point of view to discuss about that topic. Maybe it's regarding for their regular life example, maybe they have sometime come to know about that fact from other side, but they don't have the time to come out with their own thoughts. Provide diverse learning materials for them. We can provide different videos for them and give them a chance to come out with their own dialect with that. In that time they can come with that dialogues, we can prove their critical level, because according the dialogue we can find out what is going on in their mind, what they can prevent, what they can produce in that condition if they are there. So we can develop problem solving activities over there. We can give them situation and ask them how they can solve this situation and what is your decision in that condition if you are there. Different situation if we produce in front of them, they will come with different kind of the solution over there. If we have a 10 student in our classroom, definitely we have 12 decisions on that time. We can produce model critical thinking in our classroom also. We can give them own actions and own decision taking possibilities and the chance in the classroom. Encourage their creativity. They can come with their own thoughts. They can come with their own imagination. They can come with their own presentation. We can just give them a topic and let them do what they can come with that topic. Maybe they can come with a presentation in a act form, maybe come in a written form, maybe just they want to come with a puppet show form. It's depend on them. In ADP 2020 we emphasize on the practical form, playway method, storytelling method, hands-on activity. We can use all these activity to come out whatever it is in the student's mind, what is going on in them. And sometimes it's quite better to give them feedback also, because sometimes or many times as a student, as a teacher, I know very well when I ask a question in my classroom, a student give me an answer, definitely he or she will just watch my face to know am I right or wrong, is my teacher support me or they are not agree with me. So right time feedback is more important for bring them more creative, more critical mind in themselves. Or as well as we can use questioning and integrated real world applications also. They can come with their own imagination, own creativity to come their own thoughts, because we know we have a lots of thoughts we come out from the normal routine, but we don't know where to ask and how to ask. So these kind of the action can be taken by a teacher to increase the critical thinking in the students.
Absolutely. So now when we know where to ask and what to ask students, so it is better to know the strategies also to enhance this critical thinking. I would like to ask you, Mr. Behra, that how can our youngsters enhance their critical thinking? Are there any strategies to do so?
Yes, as Dr. Lenka emphasized, as per national education policy, critical thinking is a major domain in teachers' pedagogical approaches. This can be achieved by following a question-based pedagogy, which is often we call it a brainstorming session. For example, let us take one question. How do you know this? Suppose a student answer a particular question, we can ask him, how do you know this? Now the students think and examine the source of his response and also its reliability. For example, next we will ask for some answers. How will you react if you were in opposite side? Especially these questions are made in social discussions on social issues. For example, there is so much of gender discrimination in our own family also. The students are witnessing these events in their home. When they take the side of their father, now, how will you react if you are in opposite side? He will take the role of mother and think in a woman perspective. Then there will be a broader sense and a broader judgment about the situation. This type of critical questions will empower their mind to think anything in a landscape way and come to a better judgment situation. Also,
Absolutely.
you can ask many other type of questions like, do you agree on this?
Right.
Why? You don't agree on this? Give me reasons. And he will
Right.
think upon this. Oh, I have to state some reasons why I said no. Then just giving just a answer, he is now thinking upon it, critically thinking upon to prove its validity. So there are many other strategies also beside this type of classroom transaction that is not practically possible in school setup. We can assign them project-based learning that involves group activity. We know when we are working in a group or a team, we broaden our thinking because we have peer group. They have different ideas we that we have not think about before. Also, if a school has ICT support, it also gives you a lot of opportunity to practice your critical thinking by using many worksheets, videos, and other type of online resources. Besides that, in present day assessment system as per CBSE and NCERT books, we are practicing both written or oral subject enrichment activities. Whatever activities we are doing, we are following a critical thinking approach of assessment. Means the questions are modified in such a way that student will not give answer what he or she has learned from the textbook directly. He will use his mind. He will see the image, name it, write their function. We will give only just a picture. So in this way, there are many possible ways that can be practically done in a school setup. Uh,
Absolutely.
we can do or encourage their critical
Right. So
thinking.
there are many, several, strategies to enhance the critical thinking in school for the youngsters. I'm sure the teachers, educators who are hearing us must be liking them. And here I am going to ask you, Dr. Lenka, that now we have understood as a picture that what critical thinking means and how NEP 2020 is enhancing and awareing all of us about the critical thinking. So, why this critical thinking has become so essential in terms of skill learning? If you could please brief on this.
Okay. Ma'am, listen, learning is not only the rotation. Learning is not just a rotating the fact. Until you are not so much aware about the basis of the knowledge, you are not able to connect with that. So for the critical thinking area, analyzing information is very much important for that. What I am reading, how I get this information, what is the base of this information, and what will be the use in future for this information in my life. If it is useful for me, then definitely student will take more interest. So first of all, student will learn analyzing the information, how and where this information come to him, and what is the reliability of this information, as well as whenever a student is starting the problem solving, critical thinking equip him to problem solving capacity. Now they can able to manage the situation systematically and logically manner. It's encourage them to break down complex issue into smaller components, examine each part critically and find the solution. Problem solving is a fundamental skill across various discipline and real life situation. When the student face any problem, if he or she knows what is the base of this problem. Maybe sometimes students react very loudly for a single problem, for a small problem. But if they critically examine that, what is the reason for that and how can I come out with the solution, definitely it will help with them. Enhancing their learning rotation, critical thinking enhance their learning rotation. They can learn very well. Whatever they learn, it will be with them with a long time if we learn it properly. As sir says before that, now the books are quite changed. You can't find the answer on the base of the question. You can't get direct answer from the question book. Before that, it is available. The question is there, and I have just a look on chapter, I can get easily my answer. But right now it's not possible. You have to read thoroughly the chapter, then you can find out the answer. For that, we need a critical thinking for that.
Correct.
That's why NEP 2020 emphasizes on critical thinking. It's give the
Absolutely.
energy, it's give the empowerment of the
Right.
student mind to think more, to more critical or for the surroundings as well as the
Right.
syllabus.
So with this, we come to the end of today's Sahyog session, and just in a few seconds, if you could just brief Mr. Behra, because you work in a school. So what are the challenges in a school system in enhancing or building up the critical thinking among students? If you could just brief in few seconds, please.
First of all the teachers need to be trained on how to transform their pedagogical approaches to enhance critical thinking. Secondly, students should be trained on how to observe carefully. For example, I am giving two examples. Apple was always falling from the tree. Everyone was noticing it, but carefully observation was done by Isaac Newton.
Right.
He thought, why this apple is going down, not up? So when we ask why, what, then we can explore the world, because the world starts with W itself. It's all about their careful observation and conclusions to solve a problem. Another example is from Mahatma Gandhi, who came to India in 1915. He studied all the problems in India. Everyone was there who was somewhere following violence method of struggle. But in that situation of India, how people were poor, what was the economic condition, how there was caste taboos. Now he focused critically and find out a non-violence way of resistance. So this is what critical thinking can do. But we as a teacher or we as a society are somewhere having lacuna in providing critical thinking situations to our students.
Right.
Another challenge in present day is because of in a hurry to finish syllabus, as we do in our classes, we always want to follow some strategy to develop critical thinking or collaborative learning, but practically it is not possible. Then we quickly stick to traditional methods, just chalk talk, take notes, revise question answers. This should be, I think, minimized, and maximum learning should be shifted
Absolutely.
to critical thinking based.
Absolutely.
Which
So
will definitely
yes.
address now in this situation.
We have told you several ways to enhance your critical thinking, and I really thank you, Dr. Lenka, for joining us today. It was wonderful having you for today's Sahyog session. And we thank Mr. Behra as well, the practicing counselor who joined us. I thank you also for joining us today.
Thank you, madam. Thank you.
And this was Sahyog session, viewers, and a quick review to tell you all that the academic session of NCERT has already begun, and if you have not purchased the textbooks, you can simply buy them from the publication division situated at New Delhi, Ahmedabad, Bangalore, Kolkata, Guwahati as well. You can buy these books, and the timing for these divisions would be 9 a.m. to 6:30 p.m. They are open on all days, which means Saturdays, Sundays as well, and on all gazetted holidays too. And if you want to order them online, go to NCERT's official website, place the order. You'll be getting all these books right at your doorstep without any delivery charge. And to read the PDF version of all these textbooks, you can simply download the mobile applications of Diksha, ePathshala and NCERT, and on the official website of NCERT also the PDF versions of all textbooks are available. So this was today's Sahyog session. Remain connected to PM eVidya to watch NCERT's resource material. Thank you. Namaskar.
सोच में सकारात्मकता लाएं, जीवन को बेहतर बनाएं।
मनोदर्पण पर कॉल लगाएं, मनोबल अपना और बढ़ाएं। मनोदर्पण पर कॉल लगाएं, मनोबल अपना और बढ़ाएं। चलो आज ही प्रण ले हम, मानसिक स्वास्थ्य सुधारे हम। चलो आज ही प्रण ले हम, मानसिक स्वास्थ्य सुधारे हम।
मनोदर्पण के काउंसलर से परामर्श पाने के लिए डायल करें टोल फ्री नंबर 844-844-0632। नंबर एक बार फिर सुने 844-844-0632।